Not sure how this video is going to turn out, but this is my Artillery X1 Sidewinder. It may actually be called Sidewinder X1. I'm not 100% sure. But I printed out a couple things. Oh, let's get the lighting right here. So I printed this thing out and focus. There we go. And it came out pretty good. I'm using this as a hold down for my X-Carve. And I designed this in Fusion 360. Thingiverse has some of them on here, but I didn't like the way that their dimensions were on it. I wanted it a little bit wider. And it has the steps on there. So I like the way that was. Alexa, volume 2. Sorry about that. I didn't even realize music was playing in the background. Just jamming out here. Anyway, so now what I'm designing is, I didn't design it. I got it off of Thingiverse. I'm just testing it out. And I'm printing a nut and a bolt. And we're going to see if they work. I printed one out a couple minutes ago. Bolt, nut. They don't fit. They don't fit at all. I'm using Cura, and this is my first one, and I tried to scale it, and I think I screwed up because I scaled them both separately. I didn't realize you can do a click, shift, and click to select both items at the same time, and then you can scale them both together. So that's what this is printing right now. We're going to see how that comes out. Set that back over there. We're at 32% completion. Just got this camera. See if I can zoom in a little bit here for you. Just got this new camera. It's a Cannon M50 mirrorless or something like that. This is kind of my first video with it. Zoom this back out. Try and... Whoa, wait a minute. Where's my little screen here? There we go. There's my screen. Okay, so yeah. Lighting doesn't look right. Let me get my good side here. Oh, I don't have a good side. That's right. Well, the lighting's totally not right here. Got my dark side. Luke, I am your father. Anyway, so yeah, I just got this camera. It's a Canon EOS M50. I know nothing about photography or cameras or anything like that. So I just did a bunch of watched a bunch of YouTube reviews, and everybody was like, this camera is the bomb. So of course I went and bought it. It was between this and a Nikon camera, and this is supposed to have better face recognition or something like that. So if I zoom in, it's supposed to not get pixelated or something. Again, this is my first video with it, so I don't know. It's supposed to be able to take 4K video. I don't know. I heard that the 4K video doesn't have the same face recognition on it. So on my build plate, it's a heated build plate, heated bed, and so they say that you're supposed to wipe it with rubbing alcohol, isobutyl, whatever. Well, because of the coronavirus thing that's going on right now, there is no rubbing alcohol anywhere. So I was like, I want to print. So what am I going to do? Well, I got vodka in the house, so let's try vodka. I couldn't get it to stick, Then I tried the vodka, and it sticks perfectly fine. So vodka, I guess, works too. A little bit for me, a little bit for the machine. A little bit for me, a little more for me. Anyway, back to the build here. We're gonna go back down. I gotta flip my screen over here, and we're gonna zoom back in. It has a manual zoom on the camera, and I'm not exactly crazy about that, but I guess that's what you get with this camera. I didn't see that in the reviews anywhere. I guess it's more of a professional camera than whatever. I don't know. It does have like a touch screen on it. That's kind of cool. Sure, it does a bunch of stuff that I just have no idea how to use. So anyway, we're back to the bolt and the nut. Looks like you can actually see the nuts completed. Oh, no, maybe not. Gonna go back to the nut to finish off a layer or two. So my filament roll actually sits way up there. Well, not way up there. The camera, I think, over dramatizes it. It's really only like a foot and a half, or two and a half feet, or not two, yeah, 2.5 feet. It's like 22 inches. Oh, I am also testing this. Printer is supposed to be capable of printing at 150 millimeters per second. Zoom back out. 150 millimeters per second. I don't know. I watched some videos and people were printing at 60. This, what I'm printing right now, is at 100 millimeters. 100 millimeters per second, per minute. I'm not sure what it is. I'm new to this 3D printing. This is like my third print. I printed out a little baby Yoda and gave that to my friend, and she really liked it, but I don't know. They say that your first print always fails. I had a little problems with the one hand, his little hand, but other than that, it came out pretty good, so guess I'm a professional at this. I don't know, maybe. Just like a prodigy. Doubt it. Doubt it very highly. Anyway, this is what I'm doing right now because I'm stuck at home. We're really not supposed to go anywhere because of the COVID-19 thing. So I'm trying to keep myself busy with something to do. So that's why I bought this 3D printer. And I bought the camera because I was going to take videos and put them on YouTube to have a YouTube channel. But I don't know if I feel like making a video that often or not. But in any case, I may not. Anyway, again, this is the Artillery Sidewinder X1. It was really simple to set up. Literally, it took me, I didn't even read the directions. And there was 4 bolts. You mount them in, and then you connect the ribbon connectors up. It was super simple. It took me like 15 minutes, maybe. I was up and printing, ready to go. I watched videos on it, and you know, they say make sure your belts are tight and all your nylon rollers are tight up against the not tight. Make sure they're not tight, because then you can get make sure they're adjusted properly. I like that better, because I guess whenever they manufacture them, they don't lock them down so as to not get flat spots on the rubber rollers or the nylon rollers or whatever they're made out of when they're sitting in storage. So I went through all that. It seemed to be all right. I leveled the the bed, that took a couple minutes. I just used the little paper pull method. I saw that on YouTube. It seemed to work well for guys. So, or gals. So, it's currently 6 o'clock. Got a message on my smartwatch. Anyway, but yeah, back to the print here. Again, this is more or less a test video just to see how this camera does in conjunction with the 3D printer. I tried to use actually, like I said before, I designed a couple things in Fusion 360. Fusion 360, I'm sure you know, anybody that's tried to use it, is very challenging. It's got a steep learning curve. And what does that button do? No, that's, oh, I'm zooming and asking what a button does at the same time, but I'm looking at a completely different button than the zoom. So I goofed that up. Let's flip my little screen back out again here. So anyway, yeah, I designed a couple things on Fusion 360, and it is really tricky to figure out. Where's that goofy lighting again? It's really bad. I don't know if that light works or not. No, apparently that light is not plugged in. I'm in my kitchen here. I guess that's, but oh wait, how about this? Yeah, light right there. Did that help? That helped a little bit. Anyway, so I was designing a few things in Fusion 360 here on my laptop. And Fusion 360 has a slicer built into it now, so I was trying to figure out how to do that, but I got some kind of settings off or something like that, because I get it to slice and it works in the program, and I send it to the build plate, and it I go and put it on my flash drive and load it onto the 3D printer, and it homes itself, and then it just prints a little bitty tiny version of the file, and it ends up being just like a blob of melted filament. If anybody understands what I'm doing wrong there, put it in the comments. That'd be awesome. Again, I'm new at this. I'm by no means, I don't know, even an amateur. I'm a novice. I'm a newbie. So yeah, this is just for test purposes and entertainment value, because I'm an entertaining guy. Oh yeah. Not really at all. Back to the bolt and nut. We are at 88% completion. As you can see, it is moving along, and they have a little bit more left to go. It said that this was going to take 20 minutes. Well, actually it said it was going to take 18 minutes. But we are at 20 minutes and 27 seconds, so I'm not so sure that was correct. But yeah, anyway, so the one Fusion 360 drawing that I did, I ended up importing it as an STL file into Cura. I think I'm still recording here. Whoa, back out. I ended up importing it into Cura software as an STL file. Well, I exported it from Fusion 360 as an STL file, and then opened it in Cura STL format. And it printed, but the dimensions that I made it to be in Fusion 360 did not translate. This is the first one I did here, and it's the right shape and everything, but the dimensions are totally not right at all. That middle slot is like 1/8 of an inch. I wanted it to be 1/4 of an inch, and that I was happy that it printed out, so I had the basic, hey, I can go from Fusion 360 into a slicing program and then to the 3D printer. I mean, this is day 2 of using this, so I was pretty happy about that. Again, I have no idea how to use Fusion 360. Looks like the print just finished, but we're going to let the bed cool down for a minute before we try and peel that off there. It seems to be, it seems to release better once it's cooled a little bit. But anyway, so this is the original, and this is the right one. You can see that this one I exported from Fusion 360 as a 3MF file, and I guess that's the new thing that's coming through instead of using STL files. And it came out, I did not have to size it at all. This first one, whenever I printed it came out, and it was really tiny on the virtual bed build plate. In the software, it was really tiny, so I had to size it. I had to scale it. I had to scale it up, and I think that my scaling was off or anything. But the 3MF file, I used that and imported it into Cura, and right away I didn't have to do any scaling or nothing. The file was the correct dimensions and everything on the software. So I put it on my flash drive and printed it out. Sure enough, it came out. That middle is 1/4 of an inch. I wanted it to be overall dimensions of 4 inches by what did I want? 1.5 inches by 3/8, and I had to do my metric conversions. And I thought, well, I don't know much about metrics, so this probably isn't going to work, but it worked. So I'm pretty happy about that. I also did this little plenum thing for my wood shop. I just put an exhaust fan in, and this is a mini version of that. This is a port here, and it goes out on both sides one to the paint room and one to my Glowforge to vent it. And it's got like a little tiny tab at, but it's not going to show. Oh, there it is. There it is. You can see the little tiny tab at the top, which is actually 2 inches or 1 5/8 inches or something like that to scale. But this is a scaled down version. This thing is supposed to be basically a 10 inch by 10 inch by 10 inch with an 8-inch port and 2 6-inch ports on each side with a hanging bracket. And that hanging bracket actually showed up right on the little mini version. I tried to print it as one complete object, and my buddy told me that wasn't going to work, and I thought, oh yeah, I got this. He was right. It didn't work. It like I tried to even print it the thing that made the most sense, but I guess if I would have had support down here and here, I don't know if you can see that or not, but it drooped anyway, and it didn't feel very good, and I got stringing on the inside because I tried to print the top. It just didn't work out right, so I'm gonna have to redesign that. But again, I designed this in Fusion 360, and I think it'd be cool because they don't actually make something like this. So this is another reason why I wanted to get the 3D printer to make stuff like this for the shop. I don't know. Okay, so let's flip back to the build again here. We're going to go back on the menu, tools, move, 10 millimeters. We're going to slide the bed forward here. Hello! There's the bolt and the nut, and we'll get it back into frame here. And let's see. I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't have the spatula thing or anything, so we're gonna try a spoon. And that does not seem to be working. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, so let's see if this actually works. It looks like it should. It's a little tough, but it threads in. It's pretty tough though. Feels like it's gonna break. No, that's cross threading. That way's a little bit better. Yeah, there we go. So there we go. It actually threaded in there. So that's pretty cool. I scaled them up together, and it seems to be working fine. So I don't know if anybody was looking for that, but there you go. Anyway, I'm gonna flip this back out, give you an outro here. I'm Kevin, and I am from the Cutting Edge Craftsman, and I'm gonna try and make videos. I don't know, bored here at home. I gotta work from home with my main job, so we're not very busy, so I don't know. Whenever I get off for the day, I'm automatically home, so it's a benefit of working from home. But in any case, I'm bored at home. We're supposed to be stuck here. Maybe I'll try and make some more videos if I come up with something cool. I don't know. Probably nobody's even going to watch this, but in any case, if you find it enjoyable, hit the like button. I guess you could subscribe. But once again, Kevin from Cutting Edge Craftsman. Thanks.